Hey, what's up? So if you're here, you're probably cheap like me and you need a new steering wheel because your BMW Z4, like the steering wheel's all like disgusting and gross. And when you looked online, the manual steering wheels are really rare, and when they do pop up in good condition, they're really expensive. So the automatic ones are way cheaper, but they have these paddles on them, and you don't want those paddles when you're driving your manual. So I'm going to show you how to swap out the back. Pretty much, it's really easy to disconnect it. I just did it myself. And yeah, it's fairly straightforward. We're just going to swap it over like normal and go from there. So basically, when you get in here, so this is what the stripped down one looks like. So when you get in here originally, there's going to be this Torx bolt. I don't know what size it is, but it's pretty damn small. I just got this little thing right here. And just unscrewing this should disconnect it. And then there's a wire, and I'll show you how to disconnect the wire as well. But yeah, you just want to take this off. It's honestly pretty on there, so you're going to give it a little bit of oomph in order to take it off. So I just be careful like not to hit this like chrome like finish, because will like, if you go too hard, it'll like damage it. Okay, so once that bolt's out, this should just pop right off, and it'll be kind of hanging on the back, and you'll be like, oh no, how do I get this wire off? Because the disconnect is inside this little plastic box right here. So what I did is I take this little, you can use anything, you could probably use like a small flathead. I have this little like needle popper thing. And what I do is I just found this spot on the bottom here. I lift this thing up, it pops right out. This little plastic thing comes right off. Then it's this little white connection right here, this little wire. So if it might take me a sec to pop it out, but it will pop out. So give me a sec here. Yeah, if you just press down on the front right here and then pull on this wire, it'll come right out. So it'll look like that. So we don't really need this at all. So you can kind of just tuck it away or do whatever you want with it. And then you can get rid of this. I'm going to see if anybody wants it, but I don't see why anybody would need it. And then you're going to basically be swapping the manual plate onto the back of this, so it's all like nice and pretty. Now ignore how messy my trunk is, but because we're messing with the airbag, remember to disconnect your ground on your battery before you get started, because you don't want that airbag exploding on you. Okay, now that we're in the car, make sure your steering wheel, I like to lock it, so you just turn it a little bit. There's these two holes on either side. That should disconnect the airbag. So I don't know exactly how to do this, but I'm gonna figure out how to unclip it. Okay, so getting the airbag out, which I just did, is pretty difficult for somebody who has never done it before, which I've never done it before. So I'm gonna kind of give you a demo. It took me like 5 YouTube videos to figure this out. So basically, this is the new steering wheel, but I'm just gonna show you because it's already off. See this clip right here? This is what holds your steering wheel on either side. So you put the thing in the back, and you want to put it in, where's the camera? That way, so horizontally. So it goes back there, and then you're going to feel a spring. See that part that's moving right there? You want to push that. You'll feel it, but that's what you're doing. You're pushing that as far out as you can, and then you're going to want to pull the airbag at the same time, and then it should pop out. Okay, so that took me far too long, but see, we got the airbag out, and like I was saying, you put it in here, goes in at about this degree, and you just push. Mine's really tight, probably tighter than the new one. So you gotta really push, and then you pull. You gotta hurt your fingers a little. You gotta yank on the top of that airbag. That took me probably 30 minutes to figure out. Now this is pretty straightforward, but what I like to do is take a picture of how it's all connected, because I might forget and I want to remember how I plug in my airbag. So I would take a picture before you continue, just so you're 100% sure how to connect that. There's this little black clip on top. You would want to unclip that one first, because it gives you access to these ones. And then we're just gonna disconnect the other couple of them. And so if you're wondering how to disconnect these two, the black and the green, there's this little black piece on the top. You just lift that up. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. You can just put a little flathead in there. It pops right up. And then it should just disconnect from there. So this is gonna drop, but basically you should be able to wiggle it. Boom. You have your airbag out of your car. Okay, so this should be the fun part. At the center there, you got that 5.16 millimeter. I bought the wrong ratchet, so I don't have like a good breaker bar. But I'm assuming this shouldn't be too hard to break off. I got the right thing this time. Okay, that wasn't so bad. If you actually use the correct tool, it doesn't take that much. Let this be a lesson learned. Actually, I just have the right tools. Normally I have more tools, but they're at my dad's house. My apartment doesn't really let me have like a ton of tools just based on size. I'm not actually supposed to be working on my car here. So hopefully my landlord, who is here right now, doesn't care too much, but you're not supposed to be working on your car here. So that's out. Now the steering wheel should just pop off. And then there's this little connector right here. Ow. Don't hit yourself in the nose like I just did. That kind of hurt. But this little plastic piece right here. And yeah, so you can see that the old steering wheel is pretty chewed up. It's not in the best of shapes. It's been through it. Previous owner did some of the damage. I just wore it down more. And yeah, let's get the new one on. So with this one, it looks like there are bolts on the back of these. So I'm gonna take these bolts out and then swap these back plates onto the new steering wheel. So what these connect to are these center pieces, the thing I just unbolted. So what you're gonna do, just pop this bad boy out. I'm not even gonna bother unplugging it. Then mine's just kind of, I don't know if it's glued in place or if it's just kind of sticky. If you wiggle it, this piece, the front part will come out first. I don't really care about these ones that much, so I'm being a little not so gentle. If you care, you might want to be a little bit more careful with them, but mine are beat. And then you pull the front off and then you just get the back and it slips right out. There you go. So from what I'm seeing, this is the new steering wheel with the automatic. See this piece at the top here? It is fundamentally different from this piece here. I'm gonna see if they swap. Okay, so for me, the backs definitely swap. You do have to swap the trim over as well. The only thing is on the new steering wheel, for me, this is just personal preference. These are on here really tight and I don't want to break the plastic going around this because it's really easy to make the trim get messed up, which is part of the reason I'm replacing it in the first place. I don't touch this part of the steering wheel when I'm driving. At most I'm touching this far. So I'm gonna leave it the way it is because it's honestly not something you're ever gonna see. But if you're up to the challenge, you could definitely just swap these plates onto the back with the correct black trim and you'd be good. But personally, I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't want to screw anything up. I also tucked away the little wires that go to the paddle shifters when I put the new plastic trim on. So we just want to line this bad boy up. It goes right on like that. Hopefully I did that right. If not, you might need an alignment. Hopefully not. That should be a little bit better. But yeah, make sure your steering wheel's straight or you know what your orientation is there before you get into any of this mess. We're just gonna put that back down. I'm not using torque specs. I've done a lot of steering wheels, like aftermarket steering wheels before, and generally as tight as you can go is tight enough. As you saw with the breaker bar, it came off pretty easily. So I shouldn't be too concerned about it. So yeah, that should be about good, hopefully. And now we just got to reconnect the airbag. And remember, your steering wheel, you should not have reconnected the battery at any point. If you did, you're doing something wrong. Let's hope I can remember which one went where. Okay, I just paused that because I was having a hard time getting them all together. But once that's all situated, the airbag should just go back on. Like that. Snap right in. We got our new steering wheel installed. Now it's time to hook up the battery and see if it works and if there's no lights. Okay, the battery is reconnected. So far the airbag hasn't blown in my face, which is cool. Keep any sharp objects from your eyes because it could blow here, but hopefully not. All right, let's see if we got any No airbag light. I got no lights. No lights. Okay, let's get this show on the road. I will say it's nice having a steering wheel that isn't completely torn apart here, because this steering wheel's been apart for a while. Like, it's just been, the old one's been messed up for a minute. And if you see the green car on my left, that's my other car. That's my Fiesta. Yeah, I'm trying to get some like glamour shots of this here. Okay, so we're on the test drive. The new steering wheel feels really good. I do think I mounted it one spline a little to the right, but I also didn't pay attention to that when I was putting the steering wheel together. So there's that. But yeah, so far so good. Done a couple miles already. Feels really good in my hand. The old one was really beat up, man. Like, this thing right here was no bueno. It's just rough, and it had like all the leather was like hard, and it was gross. I really hated it. But I mean, for $100, this isn't too bad.